I'm finally home after a long summer teaching basic military qualification and basic military officer qualification at Camp Vimy in Valcartier, Quebec. I've been home for 3 days and I'm on vacation with my family. And this is the Prairie Sailor channel, so I thought, what better than to take you sailing? I was privileged enough to have family property here at Victoria Beach in Manitoba and grew up sailing with family members, so I don't have any professional training of any kind sailing, just hand-me-down boat, and learned a few things from family members. And I'm going to be taking my daughter out sailing today, so a little bit of a sailing lesson here at Victoria Beach. Catch you on the water. All right, so we're going to be rigging up our laser here, the family boat. So we've got our centerboard, rudder, mast, sails in the bag, all the parts that we need. Let's get to work. Okay, so mast is in, sails on the mast. Next thing we're going to do is put on the boom. Okay, traveler here. There we go.
We're going out to sea now.
Ready? I'm going to give a push and I'm going to jump in.
Okay. This is how far we've gone. Wow, look at how fast we're going. Look at the waves.
Good turn. Great job.
No,
This is fun sailing.
I'm scared. The pier,
Oh,
pier.
you go right there.
Woo! Flying. Hi, buddies. Let's go right up to the pier.
You jump out, you ready? It's deep. It's deeper than I thought it would be.
Now what's next?
After 2 months of hard work, I'm happy to be home and on vacation. So today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the work-life balance in the Canadian Armed Forces and some of the leave policies and benefits that we have to take advantage of. So first of all, I worked a lot of hours this summer, averaging 60, 70, sometimes over 70 hours a week. And in the Canadian Armed Forces, we don't get paid overtime. We get paid our salary, and we don't get overtime if we work, no matter how many hours we work. But there are some other benefits that kind of make up for that, so that's what we're going to talk about today. So right now, I'm on what's called shift worker leave, which is kind of a make-up for the overtime hours that we worked during the summer. So throughout the summer, our hours were tracked and we are awarded some extra leave days at the end of the contract to make up for the fact that we were working on weekends, we were working evenings, we were working all the time. In addition to the shift worker leave, there's also something called pre- and post-deployment leave, which is a benefit that I didn't know about for a good chunk of my career. Only found out about it a couple of years ago, and I've definitely been taking advantage of it. Anytime that you're traveling on a contract for work outside of your local area for more than a certain period of time, I think it's about 3 weeks or a month, you are eligible to apply for 2 days of pre-deployment leave before you go on your trip to give you some time to do some personal admin, pack whatever you need to do to get ready, to make arrangements to be away from home for a large period of time, and then also 2 days of post-deployment leave when you get home. This leave is super helpful, and when combined with the shift worker leave, getting home, I got a pretty good chunk of holidays here. In addition to that, I also have a couple of days of short leave, and short leave is discretionary leave that can be awarded by a commanding officer, basically for any reason, up to a maximum of 2 days per month. Usually we'll get short leave on days like Christmas Eve, for example. Like Christmas is special leave or a stat holiday, and sometimes Boxing Day isn't, we'll get a day of short leave. Or same thing with like New Year's Day is a stat day, but New Year's Eve isn't. The CO can give a day of short leave, so we get short leave here and there. Or we can be awarded short leave, if we work particularly hard on a weekend exercise or something like that, and the CO knows that everybody worked tons of hours. And normally we don't do shift worker leave back at the home unit like we've done here this summer at Camp Vimy, so it's kind of used in the same way as that. The base leave that we get as a full-time employee on a contract over 180 days, our annual leave, it's called, is 24 days per year, so 2 days per month. That's a lot of leave, all right? That doesn't include weekends, so when you add it up, that's a lot of holidays. And especially when you add in those other things that I was just talking about, a couple days of special leave, the pre-deployment, post-deployment. You get a couple days of short leave awarded by the CO. You get a couple days of shift worker leave if you are on a contract where you're working a lot of overtime. So you add that all up and we definitely get a lot of holidays in the Canadian Armed Forces. Another thing I wanted to talk about with regard to work-life balance is just our regular working schedule, because for the Naval Reserve, the full-time staff, we still have to work on the Tuesday and Thursday evenings that all the part-time staff do. So that means that we're coming in from 7 to 10:15 p.m. and it's really more like 6:30 to get there on time, get into your uniform and get ready for parade on Tuesday and Thursday nights. But we also are working full-time Monday to Friday. So how do we balance that? What I like to do, because I'm a parent with a child in school, is the extra hours that I work on Tuesday, Thursday evenings, I spread them out throughout the week in the mornings and after school to do pickup and drop off. So I'll start work at 9 in the morning instead of 8, and sometimes I'll leave at 3 instead of 4 to go pick up from school. So this really helps with cutting down on before after school programs, childcare costs and things like that. So it's really, really a benefit to have that flex time of the hours I can take back during the week by working Tuesday, Thursday nights. Doesn't mean that I'm always happy on Tuesday night when I've already worked all day and it's 6:15 and we just got dinner on the table. I gotta rush a few bites and get back out the door to get to work. But we do the best we can, and really I do appreciate the flexibility, and it helps a lot to have that flex time to be able to work with school pickup and drop off. Basically, the bottom line is that it's flexible. You're going to find a schedule that works for you and your employer, and working on those Tuesday, Thursday evenings allows for some flexibility, and that really is a benefit to kind of find out what works best for you in your work-life balance. A couple other benefits that I wanted to mention. One of them is the weekend travel benefit. This is something I was able to take advantage of this summer while I was on contract in Quebec for 2 months. Halfway through, on August long weekend, I was able to fly home to visit my family. That was very much appreciated. There's a couple of stipulations with the benefit. You have to be away for a certain period of time, over a month, and it has to be not within 8 days at the start or 8 days at the end of your contract, which makes sense because there's no reason to fly home for the weekend if you're going home in a week, right? A couple other things that were weird about it is that it had to be on a weekend specifically. You could not use any of your annual holidays, so I couldn't get an extra day and go home for 3 days instead of 2. And another thing that was weird is that because I was in Quebec, the August long weekend, August 1st, is not a stat in Quebec. It is in Manitoba and for I think the majority of the country, but I couldn't fly home on the Monday. I had to fly home on Sunday night. So these policies are great. They are a real benefit if you take advantage of them, but you have to be aware that you gotta work within the rules, and sometimes there's a lot of little stipulations. One last benefit I wanted to talk about, even though it doesn't have much to do with summer here, is the Christmas flights. So this is something that, again, I didn't know about for like half my career, and I've been utilizing it as much as I can since I found out about it. Basically, the program is intended for people who are working away from home, away from their families over the holiday period. There are Christmas flights, so not commercial flights, but the actual military Airbus that flies basically back and forth across Canada, picking people up and flying them home for the holidays. It's a fantastic program. So people who are deployed have the first priority, but people like me who are reservists, if there's extra space on the plane, can apply for a seat to fly as well. So my dad lives in BC, so a couple of times I've flown, me and my wife and my daughter have been able to fly out to the coast on the Xmas Christmas flight benefit, which is a really fantastic program. Again, there's all kinds of great programs to take advantage of in the Canadian Armed Forces. You just got to make sure that you're aware of them. You take a look at that leave manual and you take advantage of everything that's available to you. Sometimes I do wish that we just got paid overtime because I would make a lot of money with the number of hours that we work. But with all the different benefits that we have in place, with the post-deployment relocation leave, a couple days of short leave, a few days of shift worker leave, and I took a couple days of my annual leave. After working hard all summer for 2 months, I have like 3 whole weeks off of holidays here to spend time with my family and enjoy. So I'm happy for that. I'm appreciative of that. Right now I'm at my little humble cabin here, built by my grandfather and his dad in the 50s, shared by many family members, and we're having a great time at Victoria Beach. So we'll catch you on the next one.